Yeah. Okay.
Good day, folks. This is Wayne and Tina, and we're here today with the Happy Valley Goose Bay Remax Real Estate Show. We told you last week that we were going to do this. We felt there was a lot of information that needed to get out in the community, and Tina, we're going to do it, right?
Absolutely. We figured, well, we got some good feedback from it last week when we did it. I was talking to a client, just going over the listing that way, checking in on our clients. I was just checking in on them one day, and they said they didn't realize the stats right now of the houses that are on the market and that kind of thing. They were surprised, actually. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do it again today. We're going to give you some more stats, just so people are informed in terms of how many houses are on the market, what range they're in, that sort of thing. But before we get into that, because we're trying to, and you're going to see some things coming out over the next little while about Remax, all positive things. We're in a rebranding mode, if you will, because we sat back one day and we realized that we have a very unique situation here because we have a team, a fantastic team.
Of three.
Of three.
Of three.
So even though our incredible assistant,
Very incredible.
she hasn't thrown nothing at me yet, that's good. But she helps us in such incredible ways, but usually incredible, but it's true. We get so much help. You and I can be out showing houses, we have a resource back here all the time, and she is part of that team. It makes life go so much smoother. It's a big help to our clients, it's a big help to us, makes us more efficient.
That's right.
So, we thought it was worthwhile that people should know that, there's more to Remax than just Wayne and or Tina driving around and selling houses.
Yeah,
because
she's an invaluable tool, actually. We
Absolutely.
find, well, when you and I are out showing houses and that kind of thing, we can't always be two places at one time. And she's there if someone needs to.
Good.
We try. Okay, we try.
So, we do have a team, so I think that's really important for folks to know. And also, I think people need to know, we just don't sell houses.
No.
We list houses, we sell houses, we do rentals, we do a lot of rentals.
Home staging, we do home staging as well.
We can do home staging. Tina is a qualified interior decorator. There's all kinds of background information. We've all got strengths that we bring to this team environment. We also do a lot of commercial work.
Yes, and Wayne is very strong in commercial.
Yeah.
The inventory we have is really good inventory right now, so who's looking for commercial.
So there you have it. On that Remax sales front, we're pretty much an all-inclusive group. We do everything. We sell properties, we list properties, but more importantly than all of that, I think what we need to say to people, why do we do what we do?
Oh, well, I know how I feel, and I know how you feel. We love what we do.
We love what we do.
We love working with people in our community,
Exactly.
And it's a wonderful job, I have to say.
And we care about all our clients.
That's right.
So that's it. We are your community realtors, and we care. So we're going to tell you a little bit about the community realtor aspect of it and what we do for our community a little later on in the show.
Yeah.
But I know people are anxious to hear, what the stats are like.
Yeah, the numbers this week.
Yeah. They don't change a lot, folks, but because we are in a small town. But we're going to add to a little bit from what we had last week. So, we should almost have a drum roll going here.
Yeah, right.
So this is what we're going to be putting together on a regular basis. We've determined, and these would be MLS listings. So these are things that we can see on the MLS site. You can go on realtor.ca or any of these popular sites and see all these houses. So we have a total in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and Northwest River right now of 43. A little bit from last week.
Yeah.
And we've broken them down in segments. And we jokingly said last week we wouldn't do one from 0 to 50. But lo and behold, in that $50,000 to $100,000 range, we did have a property. Okay. And then in the next range, Tina, we can probably go.
Yeah, we got 100 to 150. There's 3 listings right now.
Yep. And then the next range, of course, is 150 to 200. There's 3 listings in that particular segment.
Yep. And then we have 15 listings from 200 to 250.
And that by far is the biggest segment that we have
Right.
by quite a big margin. And in the 250 to 300 range, we have 5 houses right now.
And the 300 to 350, we have 7.
And 350 to 400,000, there are 4 properties.
And then 400 to 450, there are 2 right now.
Mm-hmm. And then at the very top of the range, we have nothing beyond 500, but in 450 to 500, there are 3 properties.
Yeah.
So there you have it, 43 properties on the market. These are MLS listings. Please keep in mind, there might be a few other listings in town. Some people choose to list privately, not so many, but occasionally people do it.
That's right.
And some people will list as exclusive listings. So we're going to get into that a little bit and tell you the differences in how that works very shortly as well. But the few other stats, seeing as we're still on stats, we had some questions this week about how many houses do you guys, is sold in Happy Valley Goose Bay in a typical
I had that asked the other
year?
day, and you don't kind of think about it till you've got an idea in your mind about it, but till you actually go in and have a look at the stats, that
So
we
we've
have
got,
valuable tools that we can figure this out and
absolutely.
measure. Yeah.
So being part of the Newfoundland Labrador Real Estate Association, we have access to a wide variety of tools that allows us to get very accurate information. So between Tina and Tara, I can't take credit for this.
That's not true. We work as a team.
They went in there and they figured out like how many houses we sold. So this would be all of the houses that sold on MLS last year, and we had a total of, put my glasses on again, 72. Okay, so I don't think about that often, but again, we have a small community, so it's not a huge real estate market that we're involved in. Keep in mind there would be others besides these are MLS.
Right, that's right.
So there would have been some privates and probably a few exclusive. So probably fair to say somewhere in the 80 to 85 range would be a typical year in real estate. And last year was, might have been down a little bit, but that's pretty much where we're at. Certainly under 90 in a given year.
Yeah.
So that's the real estate market. In Happy Valley Goose Bay, we have basically a fixed number of houses, and it's very consistent year over year. And then we've kind of given you a breakdown in segmentation, and we'll continue to do that every week.
Yeah,
That's
I
our
mean,
commitment.
we find people are interested in knowing it, and if you're thinking about putting your house on the market, it's good information to know of what your competition is, I guess, as a way of putting it, I guess. But as one of my clients said, their house is sitting on the market and they're wondering, gosh, what's their competition? We've got 43 houses on the market right now. So thinking as a big whole, they think they've got 43 other properties they're competing with. So what we kind of like to do is give them the information and say, well, actually it's not 43. So you're not in this price range, you're not in that price range. And so we're looking at your price range, but we also look at what you have as against what someone else has. Each has their own dynamics, I guess.
Exactly.
So when you put it together, maybe there's only 2 or 3 that you're in the market with right now.
Exactly, and I'm just looking at our stats list now, and I don't need my glasses now because it's far enough away. But
the opposite. Yeah.
In that 250 to 300 range, for instance, which is a popular segment these days, there are only 5 houses on the market right now. So if your house, if we came down and did an assessment on your house and determined that it would fit in that segment, you would have very little competition. There's only 5 houses out there to compete with you. So that's what you need to be looking at to determine whether or not it's a good time to put your house on the market. And some of these segments are, there's very little houses for sale right now.
Right.
So it's not a bad time to be considering.
Yeah. And some people think about winter, nobody wants to move, but you know what? I heard the other day, January 20th, we're halfway through. So if you think about it, by the time you put your house on the market and you get some interest and deals are done, we're in the spring anyway. So great time, I think.
Absolutely, and there is a lot of activity. I know we've been busy the last few weeks. There's lots of activity right now. I'm amazed how many people are out there looking, because Happy Valley Goose Bay is a unique town. We have a very transient population of people coming in for new jobs, moving in for new activities or new opportunities. So it's a never-ending process in this town. We're blessed in a way. It's a very unique place, and so kind of makes it like a dynamic market for buying and selling houses as well. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's kind of the information we're going to give you. What we should do as well is say to the folks who happen to be watching this, and I hope a lot of people will start following, but if you're interested in some particular information,
Yeah.
pop us an email.
Yeah.
Go on Facebook,
Do a
send us a
comment on
question.
our page. Yeah.
Do a comment, and we will try and get that information for you. So this is what it's all about, is making sure that we are able to inform our customer base out there.
That's right.
Because we're interested in making sure everybody has the information that they need.
Right.
Okay. So we had a couple of other things that
Yeah,
we're
the
going to discuss
MLS,
today. There you go.
we get that a lot. If people are asking about the MLS, what the difference is.
Yeah.
So that's something we thought we'd talk about today as well.
Alrighty, so let's talk about MLS because in some cases it gets a lot of conversation going. In other cases, people have no idea what it is.
Right. Yeah.
And in this town, we have a wide gamut of opportunities to list your house. Some people choose to list on their own.
Right.
Not so much anymore because now it's a risky business because you're not talking a $50,000 or $60,000 house anymore. It could be a $400,000 house.
Yeah.
And if you talk to your bank or you talk to your legal representation, they are always advising you to use professional people to assist you with your sale.
Yeah.
So that's important. And then you have as realtors, we can list your property as an exclusive property,
Right.
which means in our case, it would go on our RE/MAX site and a few other sites that we choose,
Right.
but it would be only us selling the property.
That's right. So you can't get anybody outside. You can and you can't. It's this fine line, but it won't be all the realtors in your area or even outside working together to try to sell the property for you.
Right, so this is the beauty about MLS. So MLS, which is multiple listing services, gives you the opportunity to list your property, and any licensed realtor in this province
Right.
can sell it.
That's right. They can show it, they can sell it, they
Absolutely.
can, and we usually, this is what we like to use because we see the power in it, the value in it. And we just feel that it opens up to so many people, not just us selling your home. We're delighted whoever sells the home, as long as we
Absolutely.
get good terms and conditions and great money for your home. We're welcome any agent anytime to come in and help us sell it for you.
The more the merrier.
Absolutely.
So folks, if you have any questions about MLS, you really should talk to your real estate agent about it because it is hands down the best way to sell a property. Gives you incredible exposure. Literally, when you put a house on MLS, it's seen all across the country, really all across the world, because anybody can show that property. It goes on realtor.ca. It just gives you an incredible amount
Massive
of opportunity.
advertising, yeah.
Massive advertising.
Right.
So the likelihood of selling is far greater when you use MLS.
Yeah.
Now we get to the crux of the matter, because some people say, but that's more expensive.
Right.
And it depends. In the old days of selling, we used to differentiate between exclusive listings and MLS listings, and we would have one rate for exclusive and one rate for MLS. But here, we believe so strongly here at RE/MAX in the power of MLS that we decided quite some time ago that we would just have a single rate. So we don't differentiate. We'll just say to all of our customers, just do MLS, and we're just going to charge you, the same
One fee, no matter.
one fee, the best low rate that we can give you. That's it. We don't differentiate. So because we want you to have the opportunities, so please talk to your realtor, whoever it is. Talk to your brokerage.
That's right.
Get all the information that you can about MLS. So there you go. A very powerful message, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, like I say, not everybody, unless you're in this industry all the time,
Mhm.
and there's not a lot of people that are selling. You don't do that very many times over a lifetime. Usually, it's a question that we get asked very often, and it's good to have the knowledge to
Absolutely.
know how to list and that kind of thing. And,
Absolutely.
yeah, and like you said, we that's just one question that we get asked, but I'm sure there's tons of others that, as realtors, we do this every day, but we don't think about. Some questions that people may have, but as Wayne said, get on our site and put it on our page and send your comments or send us a message, and we can, on our next show, we can certainly address
We'll
anything else.
try to
We'd
address
love to have the questions, yeah. for
So,
sure.
we gotta mention this, so someone's gonna say, where did you get that?
Oh,
thing?"
yeah.
We
We
got
love
little
this,
thing
we
here.
love this.
We love it.
Yeah.
It says this home was a miracle home. So what happens is, we take part of every commission that we make,
Yes.
whether we rent, do a sale, whatever we do, and we donate that to the Children's Miracle Network, more specifically the Janeway. So at some point in time, we're actually, we talked about it the other day, if we're in St. John's, we'll do a little video from out in front of the Janeway just to remind folks, because
Yeah.
that's something that's near and dear to everybody.
Right, yeah.
And as your community realtors, we thought we would remind folks that we do think a lot about the community. We make a living from being in this business here in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and we'd like to give back.
Right.
And that's one of the ways we can do it.
Yeah.
But there's another way. For instance, this week, we just had our kickoff meeting
Yes.
for the
Exciting.
Remax.
Yeah, we gotta bring that up. We gotta bring that up.
This is a big event. So back a few years ago, about 5 years ago, I guess, we decided we wanted to give back to the community, and we're looking for a very positive way to do it. And we did some research, and we determined that one group in town impacted the lives of a lot of people, and we liked what we saw, and that was the Salvation Army.
And I'm kind of biased, but.
And Gina's
my
actually
favorite.
with the Salvation Army
Yeah.
Church. I was going to try it as a singer, but I don't think we want me. Anyway, so we've formed this partnership with the Salvation Army, and we've been very effective. Last year, through our Run for the Red campaign, it's the fundraising campaign that we do, we raised just in excess of $27,000 that we donated to the church. And that's thanks to the kind-hearted efforts of the corporate community and the folks who live in this town.
That's right. The
Incredible
runners
place.
and even the kids, like, that was phenomenal. Last year, the kids were coming in with it, and they were almost competing against one another. It was awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
It was fun, yeah.
So this year, I mean, it's been a tough year. These folks run a lot of programs. A lot of people are dependent on the things that they do. And of course, they do two major fundraisers now, one being the cattle campaign, which was done over Christmas. And Remax Run for the Red now it's become one of their major fundraising events. This year, will probably be in excess of 25% of the revenue stream for the local church.
Right, yeah.
Because this year there was, even though people worked really hard and were very generous, we weren't quite as successful this year in the cattle campaign as the previous year, so we're down on funds. And so I guess the challenge is out now for us to try and pick it up a bit and see if we can help out.
Right. What's
So-
our goal this year? We need to share our goal this year.
We decided, last year we raised 27,000, and we decided yesterday, we had our meeting, that we would shoot for the same goal. Obviously, we'd like to get more, but that's our target, $27,000 this year.
Yeah,
Last year, our target was 25, we made 27.
right.
So we try to be realistic, because it's, you know,
It's
there's
a
a
big
lot
number.
of, it's a big number, there's a lot of asks in the community, but it's a big part of this community.
I know, we have
Because-
generous people in our community, like, they
Well-
understand the value, I think, of.
But this money goes to help so many people.
Yes,
There are so
and all
many
year
people.
round, some people think, you know, especially the kettle net, they think it's like a Christmas thing, or, you know, like, when you do certain fundraisers and that, but it's for floods, for fires, for
It's for the
displaced
whole,
people, it's for
Right.
everything, so it's a year-round
Well,
thing that they need.
there was a saying that we used any number of times over the years, and it came from discussions that we had back 3 or 4 years ago, and it went like this: it's not if we're gonna have a crisis in our town,
It's when.
but when are we gonna have one? So it's an unfortunate circumstance. We know from time to time there are gonna be things happening in town, and we need to help these folks be able to step up to the challenges like they've always done. So anyway, that's two of the things that we're doing this year, and there's gonna be many more, but those are two big events, the Miracle
I'm
Network
excited about it.
and the Salvation Army, the Remax Run for the Red campaign. So folks, we'll look forward to seeing a lot of you over the coming months. This event goes on in May, so we've got lots of time, but it takes us a long time to put it
Right,
off,
to
so.
get it all together.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a big piece of what we were going to tell folks this week. I mean, it's a new event for us, starting this show. So we decided not to try and overwhelm people too much.
No, just a few little tidbits every now and then.
This week we went with a more casual setting, as you can see, and we will continue. That's our commitment to the community. Continue to provide information. We're totally open to modifying that in any way, shape, or form that you wish. We just need to get some feedback. So please give us feedback, and we will tell you to the best of our ability what's going on, and try and give you insight into when's the best time to list, when's the best time to sell, that sort of thing. And I guess before we go, we are real estate agents. We haven't put in a plug for ourselves.
Oh yeah, what's that?
So the thing is, if you are interested in listing your property, selling your property, you have a property that you want to rent, or if you're looking for a rental, or if you're looking for a commercial property, or want to sell or lease a commercial property,
Anything real estate.
anything to do with real estate. We've been at this for a while. We have a lot of experience, and I think just to recap what we said earlier, we care about our customers. So it's all about the customer. It's all about you. And if you call us at the RE/MAX team, we can guarantee you will get all of our attention.
Right.
Because we really want to hear from you.
Absolutely.
So folks, that's it for this week. We're going to do a live, but I got...
We're only going to do 5 minutes.
I got voted down.
We are.
So we'll also put some of our listings on at the end of the show, and we'll expand this a little bit. Try not to make it too long. Give us feedback if you think it should be a little bit shorter. We can shorten it up, or we can lengthen it out, but we want to make sure that everybody gets what we think is
Get some
valuable
information. That's right.
So for this week, signing off from your RE/MAX team, your community realtors, it's Wayne, Tina, and let's not forget Tara, who keeps
Our
us
camera
on
girl.
our camera lady.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, folks. We look forward to hearing from you all in the near future.
Have a great week.
Thank you.